Landline now. Welcome back. Far too often, we hear reports in the news about bad things happening to truck drivers. Drivers get stranded when a company goes out of business. They get beaten or worse by robbers for a few measly dollars because they couldn't find a safe place to park. With stories like that in the news almost every day, it's no wonder sometimes truck drivers feel like the whole world is out to get them. Fortunately, that's not the case, and every once in a while, a story comes along to remind us that there are good people out there who are willing to help even a complete stranger when they are in need. Whether it's just a kind word or some money out of their own pocket, these folks appear from the unlikeliest of places. Landline Now senior correspondent Terry Scruton recently came across such a story, and he's here now with the report.
Life on the road can sometimes be a lonely existence. Far from home, you come to depend on the voices you hear over the CB radio or, these days, on your cell phone for company. You chat with people online, but seldom see them face to face. But when you do make a friend, it's usually a friend for life. OOIDA member Howard Kirk has been a truck driver for many years, and he's made many friends over those years. So when one of his closest friends, a fellow truck driver named Jerry, was diagnosed with cancer, Howard took the news rather hard.
What had happened was one night, Jerry called me, and Jerry is I'd say he's one of my best friends I've got in this world. He's just like my family. When I moved to Texas from Alabama, and he was an Alabama transplant too. He lived over here, and we met each other working for Cox Logistics over there out of Longview, Texas. And he come from Alabama, and I come from Alabama. We got to be real good friends over the years. And when he came down with cancer, I was making pretty good money at the time because I was running over the road. When he first came down with cancer, he lost his truck and almost lost his house. So me and a couple friends of mine got together and booted up and paid his house completely off, so he didn't have to worry about it. And, it just went on down the ages. Well, not down the ages. It ain't been that long, but anyway, he called me. I was just leaving Ashdown, Arkansas. He said, "Howard, what are you doing?" I said, well, I'm just fitting to get ready to leave Ashdown. He said, "Well, could you come sit with me a little while till my wife gets off?" I said, "No, well, I got to cross it." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Well, the doctor told me today I've got 6 months left, but more likely it's going to be 6 weeks. And I said, "Oh, Lord." I didn't know what to say.
Howard's first thought was to try and figure out what he could do for his sick friend. But having recently left his over-the-road job for a job driving a truck locally, he just didn't have as much money as he used to.
I worried about that and thought about that all the way to cross, and I prayed, and I just, and I thought about it. I said, "Well, Jerry, he told me a month ago he wanted to go see his brother and sister that lives in Alabama, but he didn't have the money to go." And so I said, "I'm going to take it upon myself because this is my last week. I'm going to make this my last night, and I'm going to take him to Alabama. That way he can have Friday and Saturday, and we can come back Sunday morning, and I can start my new job Monday morning." So I called my wife, and we got to talking about it, and since I had come on that local job, I wasn't making but about $500 working 7 days a week, and we just didn't have the money to do it but gas in the truck.
Little did he know that he would soon get help from an unexpected place. Howard says he was still trying to figure out how to get Jerry to see his family when he made one of his regularly scheduled deliveries to a Georgia Pacific paper mill in Crosset, Arkansas. There, he says, the security guards, including a young woman named Kata Morris, noticed that something was wrong.
So when I got over there to Ashdown, and Katem and Mr. Bill realized something was wrong with me because I was sad, and me and Katem we was talking about it, and I said, "You know something? It just makes me sick. I was making over $1,000 a week. Now I can't even make enough money to give a friend to take him to Alabama to see his family. It just burns me up, And I didn't ask neither one of them for anything, not nothing. And so I went in the back, unloaded my tanker, and came back out, and she met me. And they they like playing tricks on me because I was one of the more friendlier drivers they had coming in there. And so we'd play tricks on each other. And when I came back out, she had an envelope in her hand. And I said, girl, you ain't gonna get me with no bug or nothing in that envelope. She said, no, she laughed about it. She said, no, it ain't nothing like that. And I opened it up, and she had her whole paycheck. This was her paycheck. She had cash. She had cashed her paycheck, and it was $300 even. And she had wrote on it, she said, Howard, take your friend to Alabama to see his family. This is to help gas. And I mean, when I opened it up, seen that and read that, I couldn't say nothing. I was just speechless and just went to bawling and crying. I said, Kate, you ain't got to do this thing. And she said, yes, I do. I said, well, you don't know Jerry. She said, listen, take Jerry to see his family.
Kata Morris has been working at the mill since last year when she decided she needed to take a year off from college to save up some money to pay for her education. She says she had gotten to know Howard a little bit during that time.
I usually see him about a few times a week. I haven't known him very long. I think he had been delivering to where I worked for about 3 months or so. But I don't know, he seemed like a nice guy.
On the day she gave him the money, Katum said she knew something was wrong as soon as she saw Howard pull up in his truck. And more than that, she says, she knew she had to help him.
He just came in and you could tell that he had been crying. He looked like he had tears. And I asked him how his day was going, and he said he was having a bad day. And I asked him what was wrong, and he told me about Jerry and how he had cancer, and the doctors that day had gave him 6 weeks to live. And he was telling me just how he wanted to take Jerry to Alabama to see his family one last time. And I asked him why he couldn't, and he said that it cost too much. And I was like, well, you never know. Maybe God will send you something special your way, And he went to the back to unload the chemicals, and I just thought about it the whole time. And I just felt a really strong need to help him. So when he was leaving the mill, I gave him $300 so he could take his friend to Alabama to see his family. And he started crying when I gave it to him, and he didn't want to take it, but I told him, his friend should get to see his family one last time. And he said he'd pay me back, but I didn't want him to. I didn't do it for him to pay me back or to feel like, he owed me anything or to get any praise. I just felt a really strong need to help him.
The next day, Howard went to see his friend Jerry to bring him the good news. Unfortunately for Jerry, his own news wasn't quite as good.
And so the next morning, I could, when I got home, I couldn't sleep. I went on over to Jerry's about 7 o'clock, and I gave him the money and told him what I was wanting to do. And he said, well, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but when the nurse gets here, we'll ask her. So when his hospice nurse got there, we talked to her, and she advised not to, that he's a little too weak, and he might not be able to make the trip over and back, at the time. And so we wasn't able to take him over there, but I took a picture of him holding the money, and he called Katum and got a chance to talk to Katum and thank her for it.
Even though Jerry couldn't use the money to travel, Howard says he still has plenty of other expenses because of his illness, and that the money will be put to good use. Regardless of how he uses the money, Katum says it doesn't matter. She's happy just knowing it will help him in some small way.
Oh, yeah, he called me and told me that the hospice nurse said that Jerry couldn't travel, but he had been struggling to pay his light bill, and when he looked at the amount on it, it was $315. So he said that, that $300 would cover all that, but about $15. And that took a bunch of stress off of Jerry because with his doctor payments and all that, him and his wife have been struggling. So I was happy that could help, ease his mind a little bit.
Katum says she has had times in her life when she needed help and others were there for her. So when she saw the opportunity to do the same for someone else, she didn't hesitate.
I guess I just felt a really strong need to. I have a very soft spot for people that need help. I always want to feed the hungry and help the poor, I guess. I've had help before when my mom she was a single parent. one year she couldn't afford us to have Christmas, and somebody helped her out by giving her some money so she could buy us presents when we were little. So I guess I'm just kind of paying it forward.
Neither Howard nor Jerry are strangers to good deeds done for others themselves. Howard says he's seen Jerry give money out of his own pocket to a driver who was stranded when Arrow Trucking abruptly shut down back in 2010.
One time we ran in, me and him both ran into you remember Arrow Truck Lines? We ran into a driver that was stranded out there. The damn truck got repossessed from the truck stop. He's sitting there, no way home. So me and Jerry both come up with money out of our pockets and put him on a bus ticket back home. And I've seen him done stuff like that all the time, okay? He's just one of the best, he was one of the best drivers I've ever met. And one of the closest friends I've ever met.
And after Howard offered to make the payments on a boat that Jerry owned, Jerry decided to go his friend one better.
He asked me, could we take the boat somewhere? I said, yeah, we can. He said, well, I want to run it over to your house. Because I said, you want to take it to my house? I said, and I'm thinking maybe he wants to take it to my house and try to sell it out of my yard. And so I get him and put him in the truck, hook the boat up, we bring it to my house, and he was talking to me on the way over. He wanted to get out of the house a little while. He said, Howard, this is your boat. I said, what do you mean this is my boat? He said, you take the payments up on it. This is, it's a $10,000 boat. He owes $3,000 on it. He said that you pay it off, it's yours. I said, I can't do that, Jerry. What about your funeral? We're going to try to get extra money for your funeral. He said, well, that extra money is not, that little bit of money we're going to try to get is not really going to help me. But this boat was my pride and joy, and I want to give it to you. And I said, well, if that's what you want to do, but what I'll do is still sell it and give you the money. He said, no, I'm telling you, I want you to have this boat. I said, well, how much money you want me to give for anything when I get it paid off? He said, no. I talked to my wife, and both of us agree, I'm willing you this boat. This is your boat.
Good friends are always there to help you out, but sometimes even they can't do it all. That's when it's good to know that sometimes a stranger will step up and lend a hand. As for Kata Morris, she says she doesn't want the credit.
I was just glad to help. I'm glad I got to.
If you know a truck driver who is struggling with financial needs related to medical problems, there are groups that can help, such as the St. Christopher Fund. The fund was established specifically for that purpose and can help drivers in a number of ways, including making payments for medical services or prescription drugs, assistance with expenses while recovering, or even negotiating price reductions with medical providers and hospitals. As of the end of last year, the fund, which is run by donations from corporations and truck drivers like you, had helped 708 truck drivers and their families. If you want more information or you'd like to make a donation, you can check out their website at truckersfund.com. You can also email truckersfund@gmail.com or call directly at 877-332-GIVE. That's 877-332-4483. The St. Christopher's Fund will be at the Mid-America Trucking Show in Louisville this year as well, and is asking drivers to collect their loose change in jars and bring it to the show. The goal is to collect 80,000 pounds of change, the weight of a tractor trailer. Donations will be taken at several places throughout the show, and you can always bring your change to John Osborne at the OOIDA Tour Truck, the Spirit of the American Trucker, which will be parked at the lot at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. We'll be back in just a moment. I'm Terry Scruton, and you're listening to Landline Now on the Road Dog, Sirius XM, Channel 106.